Good? If you move around, it should. It's a circle button. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 224-26. I am Jamie. I'm the principal for 224. With me today, I have some of our assistant principals, John Michelangeli, who is housed here at 26. He will be the face for you guys here every single day. And then we have our both of them. Our next assistant principal, Stacy Podowski, who is housed at 205 this year. Laura Baker, who is housed at our 186 this year. And then I have a whole bunch of staff members that are waiting to speak with you that are in the back that I'm going to make them come up when I introduce them because we are recording today, so we kind of want to make it look like everybody that's going to be here can come up and introduce themselves. Well, I'll introduce you, but if you guys can just all come up and I'll go through who everybody is and what their role is with us for 224. First, we have Evan Seftel. He is our busing coordinator. Then we have Alyssa Farrow. She is our alternate assessment coach. Then we have Dominic Toscano, our behavior specialist.
Good morning, everyone.
Tashana Marinas, this is one of the people that you will be contacting a lot. She is our amazing parent coordinator. Then we have Elizabeth and Jonathan, who is going to be speaking to you about our swim program today. We have Nicole Hirsch, who is our IEP coordinator. Susan D'Agostino, who is going to be representing our middle school and showing you the different curriculums that we use over there. Jessica Fudge, our HMH, which is our literacy curriculum coach. Anthony and Johanna, who are our wonderful counselors. They're going to be giving you a tremendous amount of information today. And then we have, where are my ENLs? My two ENL people, come on up, please. These are two of our ENL department teachers. This is Erin Bettito and Nadia Huerta. So that are all the people that you're going to be hearing from today. If this is your first time ever visiting 224, please make sure to see one of these ladies before you leave because they do have a few questions that they do need to ask you. So the first person I am going to be turning it over to today is Jessica Fudge with our ELA curriculum information for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jamie. My name is Jessica Fudge. I am the HMH and ELA coach. You probably got a letter from me saying, hi, I'm the HMH coach. If you scan this is my contact information. Again, I have Remind, I have Google Classroom. You're good, Tom?
Gotcha.
Thank you. So here at 224, just like across all of the city, we follow the science of reading. And we have a curriculum to address all 5 pillars. So what is the science of reading? It is phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. And I'm going to go through each pillar and explain a little bit about each curriculum that we'll be using with your student. So this is the typical block your student will be engaging in here. If we have 30 to 40 minutes of foundations and integrity. Our HMH block is 30 minutes, which has teacher-led instruction and explicit instruction, collaborative work and independent practice, and a writing block. Next slide. So our phonemic awareness curriculum that we're using here is Hegarty. They're very short, concise lessons, no more than 10 minutes. What is phonemic awareness? Again, phonemic awareness is the sounds that we hear. So again, football. Foot and ball, put it together. So we're really teaching our students to break parts of speech that they hear. Next slide. Our phonics curriculum we are using is Foundations. Again, this is targeting phonics, so that is sound to letter correspondence. So A, apple, A. The letter A and the sound you hear and the letter A. So HMH really hits 3 of the components we want to be targeting with your student. It targets fluency through decodable books, explicit instruction of vocabulary, and comprehension. A strategy that we're going to be using for our reading and writing is the use of a Fitzgerald key. A Fitzgerald key is a color-coded method that we use to really build our children's expressive language, receptive language, and overall comprehension. Next slide. So again, each color represents pronouns or people, verbs, nouns, descriptions, places, prepositions, negations, and conjunctions. So we're really targeting through questioning and color coding to really help our students understand the text that they're reading about, and also through their writing. This is a typical Fitzgerald key that we use. This is a second grade book called Goal from our HMH curriculum. Again, you could see who the people are in the story, what are they doing, where the story takes place, and again gives describing words to really build on your children's expressive and receptive language. We also adapt using Fitzgerald key. We use all HMH curriculum that the general education population uses also, but we use it to differentiate to meet the needs of your students. We're also using something called HMH MetalQuest. What we did was we took all the skills for HMH kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and we're really using a leveled approach to give your student direct feedback. Like, I like the way you maybe identified the character in the story by pointing. The next time, maybe we're going to focus on where the story takes place. So it's giving your student explicit instruction and feedback on what they're really doing well and what they really need to work on. Again, if in the parent letter home I sent home actually today, it goes over the different domains that we are looking to target in every ELA lesson. And if you go all the way down, all the way down. Right. So, for instance, if we're targeting, I can identify story elements in a fictional text. Maybe your student was able to identify the character, but next time try identifying the character and the setting. So again, this gives the teacher information and the student information on what they're doing well and what they need to work on. All right. Every module has a parent letter that will go home today. Your students should get a parent letter today about the first module. This goes over just the vocabulary they're looking to target and the skill they're working on, just so you can work on with your student at home with the same skill and maybe bring some of that vocabulary into the home to help them generalize it. I have a Google Classroom. It is all set up. I'm currently adding new students as we speak. So again, once you log into your student's account, it should populate. And I have just helped, like one of the things I have here is if your child has an AAC device, it just tells you how you can use your child's AAC device, how to use it for a read aloud. So the next thing that I want to talk about is our website. Our website is amazing and has a lot of information on it. Dom, if you use the QR code, it'll take you directly to our website. All these slides will be on the website, so if you forgot everything that we said today, it'll be all there for you. But if you click it, it has busing information, staff resources. If you scroll all the way down, it's got a letter from our wonderful principal. And the most important thing, I think, is our calendar. So if you click the calendar and you go to September or October, so for instance, today, there's a QSAC parent training at 12 p.m. So this is a really, really helpful resource for you to, become more tethered to our community. And again, it's always in draft because we're always adding exciting new opportunities to our calendar. If you go back there, if you go all the way to the top, Dom. No, it's right there. Yeah. Do you want to?
Presentation mode then?
Hold on. Present.
Click it.
Click it. Ah, there we go.
There we go.
We have our newsletter, and if you click more, and I'm going to go over this really quickly, they have on-the-go visuals. So if you click there, these are visuals that you can print at home using the toilet, classroom visuals, brushing teeth, if your child needs a break, going to the dentist, going to the doctor. It's really, really helpful information and support that can help you support your child at home. All right, if we go back to our slide deck and go to the next page. Oh, what happened? Oh, all right. Okay. So If you scan this QR code, this is a parent survey. We want to hear what your needs and wants are for possible trainings. I know Tashana had sent a text blast out, but if you scan this QR code, it takes you directly to our survey, and we want to hear from you so we can really design all our trainings to meet the needs of you and your wonderful students.
Good.
Thank you.
There's one other face that just walked into the room that you also are going to need to know. TJ Fama, he is our unit coordinator here at 26. Can you just come up because we are recording today, so we want everyone to be able to see your lovely face. Perfect. So this is TJ. He is our unit coordinator here. You will probably be talking to him the most, Tashana as well. But if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. And up next, we are going to have Dom and Alyssa, right?
Yep.
All right, Dominic and Alyssa. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I usually wander. I'm gonna try to stand still so that we are both in this camera the whole time. Can you just lock it? And we'll...
You want to lock it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's just get it in.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, so we're locked.
Beautiful. Good morning. I am Dominic. This is,
Hi, I'm Alyssa.
we are kind of the behavior team here at 224, and we work not only with our students, but with our teachers and our staff doing trainings and helping them build routines into their classrooms across all 6 of our sites. What we're going to talk to you today about is our Behavior Metal Quest, and that is our school-wide positive behavior intervention system that we developed with a cohort of teachers, counselors, paraprofessional, administration, all from our 224 family a couple years back, so that we can be using kind of the same behavior management and classroom management strategies and systems across all of our sites. And we have found that this is beneficial not only for us, but our students, as we have staff that moves between sites, and it's great for them to have the same verbiage and same tools and same visuals that they're using no matter where they go. And with a lot of our students, we are now moving them between our sites as they proceed and improve and you know, different needs are addressed, that they are then familiar with the same, again, same visuals, same strategies, same tools, no matter what setting they go to, so that they have a chance to really to learn it, to understand it, and hopefully to generalize it not only in school, but with you guys back in your homes and in your communities.
Oop. Okay, so Dominic kind of went over this page, but we're going to be talking about Behavior Metal Quest, positive behavior supports that we came up with as a team at 224 a few years back. We created this in order to improve safety, independence, social interactions, just the overall quality of life of our students here. It is reinforced across content areas. We're encouraging generalization across staff members, rooms, therapies, and if they happen to move on to another one of our sites. And we would love to see the generalization of these skills to other parts of the home and in the community as well. So we could hit the next slide. So we have something called the SOAR matrix, and since we are owls, we soar like owls, and SOAR stands for Safe in School, On-Task Behavior, Academics, and Respectful Interactions. So we had created 52 skills that are sorted into these 4 categories. And they could be seen across all different environments in the school. But at 224 here, we have something called the Core 4. These are the skills that we felt were the most, the ones we wanted to put our focus on while we rolled this out. So for Safe in School, we want the children to stay in their instructional space. Instructional space does not mean that they are sitting the whole time. That means they are, you know, appropriately transitioning when they are, or if a kid has tape on the floor and that's their space because they're unable to sit and they need to stand, that's their space. So it's just staying in where you're supposed to be at whatever time during instruction. On-task behavior, the skill that we're focusing on is retrieving and requesting materials as needed. So using their primary mode of communication, whether that's words, it's sign, or it's a device to request items, and then, you know, listening to retrieve items that they may need for activities. Academics, we had chosen the skill to listen and follow directions. And then respectful interactions. This is the one that we're putting an emphasis on this year. So respect everyone's personal space. So, you know, I'm not going to be this close to somebody. We're going to respect their space. So those are the core 4 that we're focusing on that aligns with the SOAR matrix. You want to do this one?
And then kind of keeping with the theme of giving our kids not only a skill, but different tiers and criteria of achieving those skills, we created, again, the bronze, silver, and gold medal system to have different benchmarks along the way for our students to work towards and achieve to hopefully attain those skills that we're really trying to drive home. Again, they have the 4 core rules that they follow in class, and these are tried really to be used whenever we're giving directions or redirections to a student. Instead of just, you know, get back in your seat, it's, hey, you know, let's go back into our chair. We want to practice school safety. We want to respect our neighbor's space. So it just gives our teachers and our students, again, that verbiage and just, you know, that ability to pair, you know, why we're asking you to do something or what reason we have maybe for getting your materials to build independence, to keep personal space for, you know, keeping you safe, keeping your peers safe. But just for an example, just to kind of break it down, rule 1 is, staying in our instructional space, your center, by your desk, standing at your desk, sitting at your desk. Some kids have a little quiet beanbag chair they might sit in when they're doing work, whatever it may be. But we kind of, for this one, we use time. So anything up to 15 minutes, you're going to earn a bronze medal. Anything 16 to 30 is a silver, and anything 31, really the whole period when you're in your area, you're earning a gold. Our younger kids, our new students, you're probably going to see on this daily sheet that we'll show you in a minute that you should start getting home as our teachers familiarize our kids with the rules, what medals they're earning. You might see a lot of bronze this year, and that's okay. They're learning what the expectations are of being in school and being in class. You know, what does it look like if I'm in a center? What are my behaviors if I'm walking in the hall, if we're outside on the playground or at gym, right? They have to learn all these new environments, that not all the same rules and expectations are the same in every room they go to, and this just kind of gives us a framework to support them in learning these new concepts and ideas.
Okay. So this is the Behavior MetaQuest daily tracker that you should be seeing coming back and forth. We have the core 4 with the medals that define each of the behaviors for the 4 different core 4 rules, and it will tell you how many bronze medals your child has earned, how many silver, and how many golds, and then you would just sign off on it. So ultimately, you know, while your child's here at 224, we would love to see a growth in the amount of bronze medals or silver medals that they're earning, or even if you just want to look at it, you know, now it's September, structures, routines, that's what we're working on. Then you could compare, you know, the behavior sheet maybe to June and see how much growth your child has made. So this is just our way to communicate what's going on in the rooms to you at home. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about Behavior MetaQuest? No? Okay, great. If you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or Dominic or your child's classroom teacher about it.
Just a question. So every kid is different. So how like those rules like maybe different from kids to other? How you individualize student?
So we have the core 4. This is something that is the school-wide focus. But then students also have the option to pick a goal that they're working on themselves in the classroom, their student voice, student choice goal. So there's a menu of the 54 goals that we created, and the student can pick one to work on. But it's really individualized. A lot of the teachers have implemented this in different ways based on the needs of their student, whether it's, you know, giving out medals at the end of each rotation or waiting to the end of the period or using like little tokens to get the medals.
It can be some notes that the teacher put some special goal for this student.
So
let's say my son, he's, let's say, although some of this task behavior is not following as much as you know other students, so the teacher will put notes
Yeah, they can write individual notes such as like, you know, sometimes if we're not feeling really great or we didn't sleep well, you know, we might see a little bit more bronzes. And that's okay. Everything ebbs and flows. And I mean, you might see a little bit more bronzes or silvers compared to gold after long vacations or, you know, 3-day weekends. We know that everything is pretty fluid and flexible, but we are celebrating bronzes and silvers and golds. It's not like we just want them to all get gold. This is a K-2 site. You know, you have to think of what's developmentally appropriate for them.
And then within the classrooms, more specifically, teachers will use different strategies to support those students. Like if we have a kid who needs frequent breaks, we will teach them how to ask for a break, go to a common corner, and all of that is also working towards staying in their area goal and helping them self-manage. So they'll have different strategies that they use. This is just kind of like a framework on what to go off of.
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah.
Is it because this is tool of communication, as
right.
You're gonna explain to us what's going on in school, and you're gonna receive this paper. So here I will know exactly what my child, let's say, as you said, different goals or different.
Yeah, I think when just speaking with your teacher, they could, you know, usually they're calling in weekly or so, but they'll touch base with you on what strategies they're using and things like that.
I was not able to speak to teachers.
What's that?
So far, I was not able to speak to the teacher. We don't know what's.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want, I can make sure we have the right contact info and get it over to them and have them touch base with you. All right.
Yeah, and then the sheet, it does have the criteria. So if you're always like, oh my goodness, what's a bronze medal and safe in school? It's all written there for you. So, any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so now I am going to be speaking about the math curriculum that we use here at 224 in our elementary classrooms. It is called, there's two different ways to say it. It's called illustrative or illustrative math. The company said they go by both, but for short, we call it I Am Math. So I Am Math is problem-based curriculum where students use their skills to talk to each other and use what they know about math to attack problems rather than us just telling them what to do. So it follows the math shifts and the standards that we are given, which is the best practices of how a math classroom today should look. So it guides students to understand and learn and make connections between the concepts and procedures of mathematics. So we're going to watch a video that came from the company, but you're going to see what a classroom used to look like, right? Probably when we all went to school. I'm going to tell you how to do something, right? You're going to do math this way. We're going to try it together, and then as students, we would go back and practice. The math shifts are totally different. It's here's a problem, try it, let's see what prior knowledge you have, and then we're going to talk about it and listen to each other and see how our friends solved it, and then I'm going to show you strategy as a teacher. So it's a totally different way of teaching, which aligns to the math shift. So here is from I Am Math, problem-based instruction.
Historically, the math classroom has been the home of drill and kill. Perhaps this sounds familiar. The teacher stood at the front of the classroom, modeled a solution method for a problem, and then you follow the steps to solve a similar problem independently. Yeah. With this teaching strategy, students are encouraged to memorize the steps in a process.
There are times when the blackboard lesson comes before the practical experience. The man who starts to keep chickens before he can keep accounts will end by losing money.
Teacher and student relationships might have changed over the years, but to this day, math classrooms are often quiet, with little collaboration or sharing of ideas. Current research has led to a change in thinking, a paradigm shift about how mathematics is best taught for student understanding.
I would say that problem-based, what I've learned is that it is students going first, me watching and learning about how they're learning and using what I learned from them to then move them towards the learning goal. So opposite of from how I used to teach, I would know the learning goal, tell them, show them, then have them mock me, right, in practice. But now I do it backwards, and I'm wondering, how did I ever do it the other way? Now that I understand problem-based the way that I do now.
Imagine IM is designed around problem-based instruction. But what does that actually mean in the classroom? First, teachers pose a problem and make sure students understand what is being asked. Then, students work individually or in small groups as the teacher monitors and asks guiding questions to help draw out the students' thinking. Students collaborate in groups as they talk about math, listen to each other's ideas, and justify their thinking. The teacher monitors the mathematical conversations and asks questions to help clarify the students' thinking. Then the teacher brings all of the students back together to share strategies and integrate any new insights into their big picture understanding. This approach is repeated with each activity to help students make sense of new concepts and connect new ideas to prior learning.
Being able to show that there are different right ways to approach a math problem then helps students make the connection that there are different right ways to solve social problems. You know, any kind of those things that come up in kinder and in primary and in all of elementary, those social emotional skills, you know, they're taking what they're learning with problem solving in math and being able to apply that into, you know, habits of character as human beings.
No matter the grade level, students frequently collaborate with their classmates in the problem-based instructional model. They talk about math, listen to each other's ideas, justify their thinking, and critique the reasoning of others. This gives them the experience they need to communicate their ideas both verbally and in writing, skills that will serve them throughout their lives. As adults, this deep and lasting understanding of mathematical concepts can be flexibly applied to new situations and problems we all face throughout our lives. Thanks for watching and keep being curious.
Okay, so that was a little bit about problem-based instruction. So similar to HMH, there is a family support hub in IM Math. It can be translated into a variety of different languages. This is linked to your student's account, so once you have their email and everything, you should be able to get onto their the family support hub. So there are really great materials in there. You just have to find out what unit your child's working on. If they're in kindergarten, are they working on unit 1? Or if they're in first grade, are they working on a different unit? You just have to find the unit that they're working on. And it will, could you just hit the next one? Thank you. It will give you some really great things to use. So there's a video that launches the video so you know this is what your child's working on in the classroom. And then there are some materials of how you could integrate that into the home environment. So there are some really nice things on there. Take a look at it when you get it. Any questions? Hi.
So watching the video, it seemed pretty dope, pretty good. But for the youngest ones, like my child is in kindergarten. Her ability to speak is not like there yet. So
right.
How does that work when she's supposed to be interacting with other students and trying to get ideas and them to solve the problem?
Yeah. So that's a great question. For those of us who might be watching this back, the parent just asked, how do we address some of our students who are not yet able to use their words to communicate during group time? So we do have a lot of support from our speech therapists who help us set up, you know, Fitzgerald's keys similar to HMH or their speech-generated devices to have those turn-taking opportunities for them to maybe point, or they could point on a communication board to let the teachers and their peers know what they're trying to convey. So we do have staff members that assist the teachers with that. And then, the teachers, they've really, just like with MetalQuest and just like with HMH, we've become masters at our crafts of taking things and making them our own to meet the needs of the students we have here. So this is our second year doing I Am Math here. So teachers have had some really nice things to say about it. You really get to know how kids are, what prior knowledge they're coming in with. Such like finding shapes or how much they may know about addition without us just saying, okay, 2 + 2 is 4. So it's getting their background knowledge.
Follow-up question. So like the topic or subject that you're teaching.
Yeah.
How long are you teaching before you move on to another thing? Because with my daughter, she needs a lot of repetition for her to grasp the concept.
So they have a calendar that they follow of units, but there are opportunities to break up into centers, and some teachers might strategically put a center that might cover topics that we already covered just to encourage those skills to still develop a little more. Does that answer your question? Okay. Anyone else? Those are great. Hi.
Yeah, along the same lines, my son's also run a program. The video showed a lot of collaboration to do.
Yeah.
So is that something that's worked into what you guys? My son kind of is isolated, does his own thing. Is that kind of part of the curriculum to work on collaboration too?
Yeah, I think our biggest thing here is just trying to get the kids to interact with each other, working in small dyads, to communicate with somebody else. We work on a lot of turn taking as well here, specifically at 26, whether it's, playing board games or passing a ball back and forth or taking turns to complete a Mr. Potato Head or a puzzle. So they definitely do work on those opportunities to interact with each other. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Do you want me to go over creative? Okay. Okay. Yeah, of course.
How I will know my son's achievement daily? What did he achieve today, for example, in terms of behavior or whatever you're talking about?
So for math, we do have parent outreach time where the teachers could communicate with you about what's going on. The teachers also send home newsletters to let you know about what's going on in the classroom. We do really encourage a strong home-school connection here at 224. And then the teachers have Remind, so you can always just send them a message. I know a lot of teachers send photos, so our families tend to be happy with knowing on what's going on, what's in the know in the classroom.
Where I should send the photo? When should I receive the photo? Which communication?
So Miss Valley is going to send home Miss Valley is going to send home her class dojo or Remind to you so that you can sign up and you can, it's kind of like a text message that you would send to the teacher and that she would be able to answer you during our school hours as well. Any other?
Yeah. In the curriculum, with the IM, right?
Yeah.
Will you be sending home worksheets that us, the parents, we can work with them on, and then kind of like homework, so that we work on them, and then when she comes back, he or she comes back to class tomorrow, the teacher's going over it or stuff like that?
Yeah, the teachers, most teachers do send home homework or some kind of newsletter to reinforce the concepts of what's going on. So if they're working on a counting unit, they might say, right in their little newsletter, when you get in from the grocery store, count how many fruits you may have bought, or if you're doing laundry, count how many socks, and then, hey, we're going to match the socks as well. So the teachers are very creative with ways of how they take what's presented in the curriculum and making it more hands-on for our kiddos.
And then something that we also do here at 224 is that we have monthly parent days in the classroom where you'll be able to come in and see the teacher actually teach skill or strategy to our students that you can then in turn take home and implement as well at home. So that happens once a month, and it's on that calendar that Ms. Fudge was showing you. Every month it's a different subject that you'll be coming in to see. So I think the first one is ELA. I'm not 100% sure. The first one is probably ELA, so that'll be in October. Then in November we'll have a math parent day in the classroom. Then we will have a cluster day in the classroom. So you'll also be able to come in to see what your child may be doing in our gym or in our social skills class, so that you can build on the skills that we're specifically working on in school at home as well.
So the first one is October 6th, and we're focusing on ELA.
All right. The next person that we have coming up to talk with us is from our middle school. This is Susan D'Agostino, and she's going to be talking to you about what a trajectory would look like if your child goes to an alternate assessment middle school. If you wanted to track, you just click the button. Perfect. You can just stand there. You'll be fine.
Just gonna put it on. Hi. I am Susan D'Agostino. I am currently at the middle school working as an academic intervention support teacher. So I want to just give you a little information. So our 6th through 8th grade middle school is in Glen Oaks campus. You can go next. Thank you. So our program primarily at the middle school is an EFL program that stands for Essential for Living. What is essential for living as our children get older? If they're on an alternate assessment track at that point in 6th grade, could be a good option for them. EFL is a communication, behavior, and functional skills curriculum. So although I'll get to how we infuse literacy and numeracy into our rooms, it's primarily thinking of what is your child's quality of life going to be? How much independence will they have going forward? And are we making them high school ready and job ready? Okay? At the middle school, we stream. There are 6 classes there, 3 8 to 1-to-1s currently, and 3 12 to 1-to-1s. That could change. And after homeroom, we stream into 6 different rooms. Our cafe, here's a picture of what it looks like. It's like a kitchen. So they're able to work on different skills. And you can infuse numeracy and literacy because they are following directions, steps of a recipe, measuring, fractions. There's so many ways through a hands-on activity that we can infuse those literacy and numeracy skills. They also, just quick word, they also run our Albert Sweet Spot. So when your child has a birthday, they will be baking the cupcakes for your child. So it really gives them purpose, and then they deliver them. So all of that helps them to feel more independent. We also have our STEM room. Recently, the teacher was working on a push-pull activity, learning more about science, and they're going to be working on calculators next, so we do have that room. Our budgeting room is primarily numeracy. They're working on financial literacy. They may take visits to a bank. They have their own individual wallets, and then they can purchase things at the school store. And based on your child's level, right? So some children might just be sorting their coins and bills, and others might be actually making transactions. Our social media room is a lot of fun. Kids like it because they're working on podcasts. And in that room, we are incorporating our HMH themes. So if the children are in 6th grade, they have access to those themes and those things that they're going to be thinking about in their podcasts in their alternate assessment classroom. But at the same time, we're making it a little more fun and functional for them. The special events room helps. This is a picture of special events room. They do a lot of different hands-on activities. They cricket cups. They create balloon arches. I mean, they've been working on a lot of things, but this year they're really focused on what is a business model. So, and it could be as simple as we made lemonade in the cafe. How much should we sell that for? Let's stand in front of people and speak. Hi, what would you like today? So this is all, and we have children who, by the way, use their communication device for that. So if, hi, can I help you? We traveled here last year and had a sale, and the children were doing that. And they were modeling for the younger children here, so it was really nice. Our Pay Us Lab, you can go to the next slide. We're very fortunate to have that our school invested in the practical assessment exploration system, hands-on activities, simulated workplace environment. The kids walk in, it's like the teacher's their supervisor. Now we're taking baby steps currently because this is brand new. So if they come in They're going to ultimately be following a list of steps, and we will provide visuals for the children who need it. You know, if we're an early learner still in 6th grade, that's okay. And they'll follow those steps, clock in, and it's like a real work environment, but we're assessing them as we're observing, so it's not like that's not right. You know, we're really giving them the opportunity to explore and try things. Some examples, that was a cute one. So it looks like this though. So it looks like a lot, but it's good because the children will be traveling to get their work. Different colors are different levels for different learners. Consumer service is one of the topics, so their child is wrapping pretend hamburgers. They really like that one. But again, it's following a series of steps so that ultimately they'll be independent and, you know, it leads to job access, right? Just wanted to mention one more thing. Business marketing is another one, and again, that could be alphabetical order, collating, and we can bring that down for some of our early learners, just sorting letters, right? And then ultimately words that start with that letter, and they would be able to ultimately collate, have a file cabinet, and some of our kids do that for us. They do some of the office work at the school. Okay, you can move on. So how can you do this at home? Just because, you know, you guys are K-2, right? So just start thinking about how you can start growing independence with your children at home. I'm very guilty of, you know, doing a lot for my children. But folding towels, matching socks is a great one. If your child's good at colors already, then grow that skill functionally at home by having them match the socks, right? And it doesn't matter if they don't have the occupational, you know, the OT yet, to fold it over, that's fine. So think of things like that. So I just wanted to be here today to give you a little introduction to what 266 is all about, and I really appreciate you giving me this time. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to Mr. Fama, and I can answer those questions for you if you want more ideas for building independence at home at your child's level. Thank you. Oh.
Okay, and now up next we have our assistant principal, John Michelangeli, who's going to be speaking to you about leadership listens.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming today. Quickly going to touch upon what our administrative team likes to do once a month. We call it Leadership Listens, Family Engagement Action Team. Typically once a month on a Wednesday from 11 to 11:30. We have a Zoom link that's open. It's like an open forum for any family of 224. You can join this Zoom link if you have any questions or concerns. We're there to listen, obviously. If you just want to pop on and just listen to what other families are talking about, by all means. We know that you have a busy day. You might be working yourself. You might be home doing something. We totally get it. It's just an opportunity each month for you guys to jump in, to see what's going on with the school itself, and to ask any questions you may have. You can find this information always at our website, P224Q.site, S-I-T-E. The home page, you'll scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll click on the school calendar, and you can see the next Leadership Listens feat is on Wednesday, October 8th. There we have the meeting ID and the passcode, so you can always find it on the school calendar. In addition to that, we typically, a day or two before, use the DOE messaging app to send text and email as a reminder to everybody if you'd like to join for that month. So the text is pretty easy. If you have the Zoom app on your phone, or if you want to just use your phone's browser, you can click that link, jump right in. And again, it's really informal. You know, it's parent-led. So again, any questions, concerns you guys may have, we're just there to have that opportunity to create some dialogue with you. So just always be on the lookout for that on the school calendar, and look out for reminders that may get sent via email and or text. All right? Thank you so much.
All right, next up we have two individuals that are extremely rare within the New York City Department of Education. We actually have a swim program at 224, and these are our swim instructors. So they will be speaking to you a little bit about our program.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Elizabeth.
And we're your swim teachers for this year. I just have to say, first off, this is an extremely rare and unique opportunity that students have sorry about that, that students have the ability to go swimming during the day. It's really an unbelievable program, and I don't know of many schools, if any, that offer this, especially at this level.
So we're very fortunate that
26 as well, of swimming per class. It does allow every student to get water safety. Unfortunately, they're not going to be ready for the Olympics, but we do focus on what we can do to make sure when they're in a situation that they might be unsafe, that they can at least keep themselves as safe as possible till they can get help. Okay?
The whole program is built around safety. Again, even if it, for example, if a student falls into the pool, we could use physical prompting, hand over hand, to get them acclimated to reaching for the side of the wall. Safety is the main priority and the goal, and getting this, fostering that is what we're going to be doing for the sessions that your child's going to be coming.
So I have been in the DOE for 6 years, and I've been lifeguarding for 11 and teaching swimming for 15. My first opportunity to teach swimming was with many children like our own here. That was my first experience, and I haven't left since. So
I'm outside of here. I'm an ocean rescue lifeguard captain at Jones Beach. I've been there for 24 years. I've been teaching swimming for almost all of those years. I've been with District 75 for 15 years, and when I got wind of a swimming program at 224, I had to be part of it. It's just something I'm very passionate about. Water safety, and the fact that our school has this opportunity is just unbelievable, and it's something that I had to be part of, and thrilled to be part of this program.
So we do prioritize safety. We always will have a lifeguard. We always will have enough staff for your child's class needs. If your child does have a one-to-one, they will have a one-to-one. If your child is, a little more hyperactive than others, they will have someone with them at a 2-to-1 ratio or a 1-to-1 ratio, depending on need base. Every student will have a safety belt on. It is not a life-saving device. However, it does help them stay afloat while we're trying to get some instruction in and some skills developed.
Along with that life-saving with belt that they have, we have a lot of different resources at the pool. We have a lot of other flotation devices, kickboards. There's many materials that aid and help students get acclimated in the water. So we're going to be using them as well as we progress.
And we will be swimming with 26. Because of the size of the site, it will be split into 2 sessions. So the first session will be 6 weeks, and it will be a few classes, and then the second session will be 6 weeks, and it will be the end of the year. So the first session will be February, and then the second session, I believe, starts in mid-April or beginning of April. But it will go till the last week of busing that we could get.
So, as of recently, basically when Governor Hochul got into office, one of her major initiatives, top down, is water safety. She has a big Learn to Swim push, and the fact that we have this unique program here, it works in concert with that to help students and children learn to swim and become water safe. So again, an amazing opportunity that we have that, and we're working with this from the state level down to foster water safety.
So as you've seen, for every other part of our curriculum, we do have Medal Quest for swimming as well. Our Medal Quest is going to focus more on, again, swim safety, water safety. So we really want to start it as young as possible to get our students and our children as safe as possible in the event they do find a body of water, right? They can swim, they can get to the wall, they can climb out.
Scream for help.
Right.
Anything that's going to aid in...
And develop the skills to not jump into a pool when they see it, right? Unless they have an adult with them. Unless they're in a safe situation where it is an approved activity. We don't want them just going to a body of water because they like taking a bath.
The other piece that works great with this is the ADL piece, where students are coming to the site, they're going into the locker room, they're changing and they're transitioning to go into the pool. So it teaches that piece and helps to foster some independence with changing, getting ready, and then changing to move back to their school, their home location. So that piece works well too, and we're going to be helping students progress in that manner as well.
So this is just a sample of one of the safety skills that we will be looking at, and then this would be more swim skills that we will also be working on that will help with safety. And it will be the same structure as every other Medal Quest you'll come into with 224.
Exactly, works the same way.
So before your swim session, we will be sending home paperwork. It'll be trip slips, it will be emergency contacts, and a backup emergency contact. This is because it is swimming. Swimming does have risks, so we do need to have a parent
That consents.
that consents, and we can communicate in the event that something does happen. But again, we're gonna at least have a 2-to-1.
Yes.
So 2 kids, 1 in each hand, on the steps in a controlled environment. You're not going to get that at any other swim program ever, unfortunately.
The amount of supervision
Right.
is the highest.
Things that we'll need, now is a good time to go shopping. A bathing suit,
Yes.
swim caps, you can if you want your child's hair to stay dry. It's not necessary. Goggles as well, not necessary. If your child is not fully toilet trained, it is important that we have swim diapers every single time. I suggest sending 1 and an extra, so 2 a swim class, because accidents happen, and we don't want them to lose opportunities because their swim diapers are now dirty.
We'll break it down. There are the essentials, obviously the bathing suit
And
the swim
a
diaper.
towel,
And then
a bag, and shoes. Water shoes, if you want them to wear water shoes, or Crocs are good too.
that could be optional, the shoes, but obviously bathing suits not.
And
All right, anybody have any
questions?
Sure. Right.
Besides the swimming, do you recommend any place for special needs swimming?
So we're working on compiling a list. We actually had that question in an orientation the other day too. So we are working on compiling a list, and it will be posted on a Google Classroom that you guys will all have access to.
There'll be resources. And again, it's hard to recommend one place across the board because there are different instructors that work.
We're gonna look for local places. We'll make some phone calls. We can't speak to any other programs necessarily, but if they offer it, then there's a good chance that it'll be a solid program, because if they don't want it, they won't offer it.
I know you said 6 weeks for the program. How they go that once a week?
It's going to be once a week, every week. It will most likely be the same day. There were, because we have a few extra days off this year, there were a few days that it gets a little jumbled, but I'm pretty sure this site is the same day every week for 6 weeks. And your teachers will be in contact with you about it as well.
Ahead of time, and you'll have advance notice, so every student will be prepared.
This is actually wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. But for the safety issue, my son this year I take him swimming. I noticed he drink water from the pool. So you guys will be able to help him.
Yes, a lot of our students do end up drinking water from the pool. And we do take every precaution to prevent that, keeping their head up.
Yes.
It is part of us and our program, preventing and helping them understand that it's not the water we should be drinking.
With the student-staff ratio being so it's
high,
something that we can monitor really closely, and we're going to be redirecting.
Your children will be watched at all points. There's never going to be a time where they're going to be unsupervised in the pool area.
But definitely something that I've seen and Elizabeth has seen many times, for sure. Absolutely.
Exactly. Again,
First and then going forward.
they're not going to come out knowing how to swim, so they will need your supports at all times after, but it is for the emergency events that they might run into.
And we're going to be working on that too as a safety flotation. And again, you can reach out to Elizabeth and myself at any time, and we definitely can provide some of the insight as to what we're doing with each one of your, children. It'll be a little bit different based on the child's, level and their comfortability in the water. But, once we establish a rapport with them, we'll be able to progress. And please feel free to reach out to us anytime for insight. And, if you do take your child swimming on the outside, and I know in the summer it's more common, it's hard finding indoor pools, during the winter time. But these are skills that you could continue to foster things that we start. So please reach out and we'll go forward with that.
Any other questions?
So first question is it a chlorine-based pool?
Yes.
Okay. Second question is this going to be like throughout the week, or is it something we got to bring them like on weekend? This is like while they're in school?
It's during the school day. They'll be bused from here to 809, formerly known as 710.
So the site, the pool that they're going to go to and train is going to be at
809. It's a 224 site.
It's one of our schools.
Our
yeah.
preschool and 2 kindergarten
So again, that's
classes.
the uniqueness of it. You're not responsible for any transportation getting your child to and from. So it's during school hours. Really,
It's like a
really
place.
awesome. Right. That's
Right.
absolutely right. Anything else? Evan?
Yeah.
How long will the swimming session be?
It'll be about an hour from locker room to locker room.
Okay, so
changing.
leaving from the school, go over there.
Well, leaving from the school, I would say then I'll give you 2 hours, just bus with 2 busing periods at the end.
It's a block of time in the morning.
Right.
You know, generally there's outside factors such as traffic and
Exactly.
There, but, you know, we hope to maximize as much time as possible in the water with your children. But the transition in the locker room at the beginning and at the end, getting changed, it does take a little bit of time, but our goal is to maximize the time in the water for sure.
And then just label everything.
Yeah, that's important.
Everything they own
Our
that
staff,
you're sending.
They're great, they do their best, but you know, if it's labeled, then we don't
Right.
have to, you know, wonder
No
who does this
mix-ups.
belong to, who do these shoes belong to?
Yeah.
So you'll have one-on-one instructors helping the kids change, like each kid change their top and bottom.
Yeah, so that is also part of the skills we'll be working on, more of the self-help skills, putting on your shirt the right way, putting on your pants, underwear, whatever skills that your child will not have yet. They will have someone helping them, assisting them, and walking them through it, using visuals and everything.
Will they, because normally the pool after you get up, you shower, like, you know, shower, so you got to shower after.
They're going to be rinsing off.
Rinse off, yep, and they're going to, you know, be helped, and anything they need help with, they'll be aided with. So all the staff that's currently with your child will be transitioning with them to the pool. So there's that level of familiar level as well. So that's positive.
Yeah.
Have you developed strategies for getting out of the pool?
Yeah, we do a lot of, we've been doing this a little while now,
A lot of games associated with that, a lot of songs. For example, we'll start, it's a routine-based program, so we'll start with a song. You know, we might do Wheels on the Bus, for example. Wheels on the bus go swish, 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 or splash, splash, splash. And then we'll end with that song as well, so they'll know, okay, we're transitioning out of the water. Again, the routine-based approach will help them to be cognizant of the start time, the end time, and the instruction in between.
And also the same transition methods they use here, they'll be coming with them to the pool. It'll take the first week, they might not, take as easily, but we will be enforcing everything that they've already been doing.
Like in the classroom, they have a routine when they come in the morning. It's going to be the same thing at the pool. The routine, we might start with that song, depending on the class, and then we'll have our instructional routine, and then we'll finish with that song again. So they're familiar, they know how it works, and we can transition. So that's a way that we help them to exit the pool and get familiar. It's all about building that rapport and that familiar and comfort. Once you have the comfort and the rapport, then you can progress, and that's going to be our goal. Anybody have any other questions? It's really a unique program. I appreciate Elizabeth and I appreciate all the questions, and we really look forward to working with the children.
Okay, so next.
Thank you guys.
Ready? Okay. And just so you're aware, during our family fun nights, our pool will be open to you guys so that you can come with your children and work alongside Elizabeth and Jonathan so that you can see the skills that they are working on. So it's not going to be the October family fun night because that's typically like our trunk or treat event, but it will be in the other ones that we do have. And if you ever do want to just see the pool and visit it to see what it looks like before your children come, by all means, please reach out to one of them and they will take you on a tour of the facility as well. Our next up is our IEP coordinator, Nicole Hirsch.
Hi, guys. Oh, okay. So first of all, everyone here, every student has an IEP because we're D75. With that being said, I did have a lot more slides to go over because of timing, and I know everyone wants to see their kids' classrooms, and we have a few more people to go to. I'm going to state a few things. Take down my email address because this morning, for example, I did my slides and the whole thing for parents. This happened yesterday, unfortunately. So take it down, email me, and I'm more than happy to kind of do my thing with you over Zoom. I do feel very strongly about IEPs, obviously. It drives the instruction. We'll go over the process of IEPs, what to expect at the meeting. You as parents have rights, make sure you know them. I know I've already called a few parents about some amendments that needed to happen because there's differences between programming, and then I've asked a few of you to see me at the end. Also, because unfortunately from pre-K to kindergarten, other schools, we go by the regulations that we are given for the core subjects of school, so ELA, math, social studies, science. Sometimes in the IP, they put in ELA 15, math 8, no social studies and science. So I just need to talk to you about amending it, making the change to reflect the regulations in our programming to be ELA 10, math 5, social studies and science both 3. So when I told you nothing urgent, no emergency, but if I could just talk to you if I asked you to, and again, those that I already talked to, thank you. But again, I'm happy to do this at more length. If you want to just take down my email address, shoot me an email, and hopefully I can help you out with any IEP questions, the process, the whole thing. How'd I do? That's great? Great.
Next up, we have our counseling team of Johanna and Anthony. They're going to speak with you briefly about some resources that they have for you guys, as well as other interesting things. Which one of you wants the mic?
I will take it. Does it clip on? All right. Around my neck? Oh, God. All right. Okay, give me a moment. All right, good morning, everybody. Given the amount of information you guys have already been listening to and stuff that's going on, I'm going to make my remarks very brief. Okay, my name is Anthony Lero. I'm one of the psychologists here. As you can tell, there's a lot of support given to the children, a tremendous amount, in fact, and one of those areas would be counseling. So you might think or might say to your friend or colleague, what is a child of 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, or even a little bit older than that, need counseling? Counseling in school-based counseling, is not counseling the way you would see in movies or TV, where it's typically like a very therapeutic, you have a therapist or some sort of psychologist or psychiatrist, and there's this back and forth. That's not really what school-based counseling is generally about. Often, or sadly, I should say, in CSE and certainly in CPSE, those meetings, they don't typically give the kids counseling, and that's kind of a mistake, in my opinion, in many cases. Maybe not all, but in many cases, because the kids do need a lot of the support that we could possibly offer. We are a resource, amongst other resources, obviously, that you could call and you can work on different things in the community, or we can work on things in the family. We cast a very, very wide net in school-based counseling, kind of using a wide-angle lens, should I say. So we can work on family dynamics, we can work on things in the community, we can certainly work on things in the classroom, play skills, readiness skills, a lot of these types of things. We model a lot, we do a lot of emotional regulation, emotion processing. When I said readiness skills, that would be things that you guys are typically aware of in preschool or even in kindergarten, depending on the age. Sharing, turn-taking, these types of things in a very warm, therapeutic, if I could use that word, setting. I'm not a teacher. I don't have a curriculum that I have to hammer away every single day. So it's much more child-led, and it does benefit the children quite a bit, I must say. Reflecting on feelings. What else do I want to touch on? Okay, and like I said before, family dynamics, which brings me, so that's counseling, which brings me to another area of things that we've been dealing with a lot in recent years, is OPWDD. You guys, any of you guys familiar with that acronym? Say, okay, good. So a few of you are. I've been doing this since the Clinton administration, so it's changed dramatically over the years. And the OPWDD means the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities. This is the government arm, the Mental Health Association arm, the state arm, and obviously the feds, where they provide support to families and children. And in, I want to say like 2012, 2011, something like that, they started widening, again, as I said, wide net. They started widening the amount of services given to children and I should say children with certain disabilities that weren't previously covered. So autism obviously is a big one here. We have a lot of children who struggle with that. And so the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities can offer tremendous amounts of things for both home and school in most cases, but mostly home. So I have a couple of handouts. I'm going to go through page by, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going through this. This is, as I said last time when I was doing the other orientation, this is about 2 years worth of their fairs. just 2 years worth of their fares. There's every company you can possibly imagine and service-related organization that can offer everything from ABA to respite to travel training and all kinds of services. And it's really wonderful in many, many ways. But as anything, there's always a catch, and the catch is it takes a very long time to get these types of services. It can take upwards of a year. So you apply for Medicaid, and you go on. And once you get these services, you can start to, obtain these things through various companies. There's a million different companies. Both of my sisters work for the Center for Family Support, so I could certainly plug that. I already called them, and they will be glad to take all of your questions. I'm sure you have questions. I absolutely don't have any answers. That's not my area of expertise, but I do know where to get the answers. Let's see, what else? Okay, so some of you, the last thing I'll leave you with, some of you guys may have Medicaid, and you say, well, I already have Medicaid, I'm getting certain types of services, and that's fine. What the program, and this is what they can speak to, my sisters, that is, or anybody, for that matter, who works for or with OPWDD, if you have Medicaid, you can get a Medicaid waiver. That fancy waiver word means, like, if you were to be making $10 million a year, we should all be so lucky, they would waive your income, like as though it doesn't even exist. They ignore that, and then you can apply for another mountain of services. So, like I said, the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities is over on Commonwealth, I believe, right? Right, not too far from here. And so, like I said, the process, we can help with these types of things. Getting back to the counseling issue, you have somebody to call. You're going to need all kinds of IEPs and psychoeducational evaluations and psychosocial evaluations from social workers and all kinds of things. And the process is long, but once you get it going, having Ms. D'Agostino speaking about the middle school, those years come quicker than you might think, and that's where a lot of these services, a lot of them, I should say, quite a bit, will come more into play, because at 21 years old, which is a very long way for a 5-year-old, but like I said, it does go quick. It comes quicker than you can imagine, and having OPWDD services, waiver services, that type of thing, it's very, very important. So I can't stress that enough, but that's all I really had to say. Like I said, and I'll end with, I'm sure you have questions, like I said, and I sadly don't have answers on OPWDD. I'll give it a whirl, though. Go, what do you got?
Where can I get all of that?
I'd be more than happy. Listen, I've been trucking this thing around for years. I'd be more than happy to hand out things based on your neighborhood, because it's, again, I go to these things every year, and there's a huge fair with tables just like this, and there's every conceivable, oh, we do this, we do that. Oh, your child's this and that. They have everything you can possibly imagine. I'm astonished. Most of the time I go there, I'm like, you do what now? And it's amazing. So, all the child needs is Medicaid or waiver services, and we can jump right in, and we can do this, and we can take them to the movies, and if mom's has a headache, we can take them away for a Saturday and go, and they go on and on and on. These very altruistic, wonderful people. But you need to start the process, and I would implore you guys to start when you're young, or when they're young, I should say. Because yes.
We have them in English, Spanish, Mandarin, Bengali. We can get them in whatever language you prefer to read the flyer in. I'm going to look into seeing if we can somehow share the link on the 224 website for this big resource fair, because it is usually open to not just providers, but families,
Sure.
Especially if you want to think more in the future for your kiddos. And I'm Ms. Schwartz. I'm the other counselor who services this site, and I'm a clinical social worker. Thank you, guys.
Anything? All right. Take care. Have a great day, guys. Oh, yes. Let me get this off. Thank you for watching this. I was worried somebody. Yeah.
Okay, so our next presenter is our wonderful parent coordinator. She is going to be a wealth of knowledge for you, and she's just going to give you a few brief things that she does here at our school for us. After that, we have Mr. Seftel with busing. And then we will go on the best part of the day, which is going to see your kiddos in the classroom. Ms. Tashana?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Like she said, I'm Ms. Tashana. I'm your parent coordinator. I'm also a D75 parent, ×2, and I'm a 224 parent. My daughter's probably over there giving them a run for their money right now. So when I say I understand how you feel, I really do, and I'm here to support you, whatever you need. I mean, first you would go to your classroom teacher or the unit coordinator, but if you're not sure who to go to about something, or if you need any extra support, you call me and I'll be there. I go to all the sites, so if you need me to come here and meet you for anything, let me know. I'm really big on getting the parents involved in our community. They mentioned the family fun night and parent in the classroom. And I encourage you all to come to that because that's how we build our community. I've seen parents make connections outside of school, and so they have play dates and make friends for their kids. So that's something that I encourage you to do when you can. I work really closely with the PTA. The PTA, again, does some events like they did Launch Trampoline, where they paid for all of us to go to Launch Trampoline. We've done Chuck E. Cheese before, different things like that. So if you can be involved, the meetings are virtual, they're on Zoom. You should be getting something home today or tomorrow about that. I'm also will help you with your NYC Schools account. So in this account, you can look up your busing information. You can look up IEP information, report cards, any kind of information you need. You can go to your NYC Schools account, and then that will link to the app where you can track the bus. I have that for both of my kids. I track their buses. I sit there and watch the bus street by street to see where they are. So I can help you set that account up now. If there's anything you need, my email, I sent out my email, but if you need it, I can give it to you. You will be getting something from me. We're rolling out this new Parent Square, a way to communicate with the parents. So you'll be hearing something about that from me as well. If you have any questions about anything, a lot of resources I have them for my kids, after school programs, all types of things like that. So let me know, and I'm happy to help. And we have our family worker as well, Ms. Rubio, who also is helpful for different resources. I want to be quick because I want us to go see our kids. So do you have any questions, though? If you have any questions, let me know. I sent it out. I sent a letter out, but I'll write down my email because it's kind of long. It's Foreman-Marinas@schools.nyc. Blah blah blah. But I'll write it down for you. Okay. So.
This is our survey.
So we are putting up, did you talk about the survey already? Okay, so yeah, and do the survey so we can know how to help you. So we're doing workshops based on what you need. So if you get a chance to do the survey, make sure you do that. And like I said, I'll give you my email address if you need it. And I'm going to pass it to to Ms. Allen.
And Jess, can you just do me a favor? When you get a chance, can you just write all of our email addresses down on like a slide so that parents can then just take a picture of it so that you'll always have it? And our last presenter for today is Evan Seftel, our busing coordinator. Please go easy on him. It's really not all his fault. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm sure I've spoken to some of you. For better or worse, I am the busing point person for 224. Busing coordinator does not mean I can route the buses. So who's new to 224? Perfect, okay. So, you get a letter from our placement office. They say you are site offered for 19502 69th Avenue, our 26th site. You accept placement. Our people here, whether it's myself, the administration, the unit coordinator who gave you the site tour, emails the placement office, Bob Smith accepts placement, please put in for busing. So if you are an incoming new student, the placement office is supposed to put in busing. However, as I've spoken to, I'm sure, a majority of you, it is not a perfect system. And our placement office did not put in a lot of busing requests for our incoming students. So then, going through Mr. Fama, Mr. Michelangeli, perhaps speaking to you guys on the phone, I can then put in the busing into a different system. Once that's put in, it takes up to 10 business days to hit the ridership. Once it hits the ridership, then we get the information. So OPT, the Office of Pupil Transportation, then sends that information to whatever bus company your child might be on. There's about 25, 30 of them, which you can see. Jess, can you pull up the website? So on our website, busing information, here you go. You will be able to find your busing company. If you have Little Richie, for better or worse, for worse, because they don't answer the phone, correct. You can go there. Your first thing, if your bus doesn't show up, try and call the bus company. Because you can call me and ask me, where's the bus? I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. There is that tracking app that the bus drivers are supposed to put on. they don't always put it on. If they don't put it on, we can ask OPT to contact the company, ask the driver to put it on. But again, if you call the company first, that's probably your best bet. If you have an issue, whether your bus is late, if you have an issue with the matron or the driver, for whatever reason, you can try calling the bus company, you can try calling the Office of Pupil Transportation, OPT. That is your best bet to start off, because you call OPT, my pickup time is 6:30, they've been coming at 7:15 every day. You will get a ticket number, an incident number that you filed a complaint. Then you can call Mr. Fama or myself. Then I can contact the router at OPT, and with your complaint as well, things move a little better. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, so to speak. Grease. The squeaky mouse gets the cheese. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? WD-40. Okay. That is your best bet. If you change phone numbers, if you have to move, please let Mr. Fama know or let me know so I can input it into the system. Having an updated phone number, most of the drivers and matrons are pretty good. They will call, they'll text if they're running late, but if they can come to the school and say, I tried calling and no one answered the phone, or it was the wrong number, and then we can look and the number's different. So that's your best bet of communication for that.
Does the driver has to call?
The drivers do not have to call.
So how will we know like when he's coming? Because we have a window.
You're 100% right. So they don't have to call. And obviously, I hope the driver's not calling while he's driving. There's a matron on every bus. So most of them are pretty good. They will text or call. You can ask to exchange numbers with them. If they don't, unfortunately, it's a courtesy. They don't have to do it. If they give you a window, like if they say we'll be there 7:15, like I would be outside 5 minutes prior, or, you know, if you're in an apartment building, try and be in the lobby if it's cold out, downstairs. You're in a home, be by your front door. Most of the time, like if they're running late, they will let you know. If your driver is absent, if you have a bus with no driver, the company is supposed to call you and let you know. Supposed to is the key phrase there. If we know and you call the school, unfortunately there's no driver today. It does happen, there's not always sub-drivers, and that leads to more difficulties. Yes, sir?
So, I'm not, like, it's a lot of issues with the company, right? So why, prior to, right, I guess in the summertime before school started, why go into business with these companies? Why not try to find other companies?
It's a great question. I don't have an answer for you. You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
So we don't actually employ any of the bus companies. The Department of Education unfortunately does, and does all the routing for us. If it was up to us, we would have our own vans coming around, picking up our kids and getting them here. But unfortunately, this is a contract that the DOE works out with all the bus companies.
So is there a way to switch, because you said it's a list of different buses that come here, right? Is there a way to switch, or do you?
So what would happen? So let's say your daughter, right? Your daughter's bus is constantly late.
Correct.
So I will reach out to the router who does this area of Queens. So again, if you have a ticket number from OPT, that helps also. Like you put in complaints, the bus is constantly late, and I can say, here are the ticket numbers. So he will look. There's not always enough buses going from one area of Queens to this area of Queens. It also depends how many buses are available. And sometimes our buses are shared with not our schools, with other schools that are nearby. So that's what OPT, the routers in the office do. Some people will call OPT. They'll say, I want to switch my child's bus. And they'll say, call your school can do it. And that's just a wonderful piece of misinformation. The school I can request that we switch the bus, but my life would be a lot easier if I can just reroute all your kids, because I would just do it. Doesn't matter to me. I'd much rather make everybody happier. And it's very frustrating. And this is not an excuse for anybody. You guys all see what the traffic is. This has been the worst I remember for September. A lot of latenesses starting in October start to iron themselves out a little bit. The traffic always subsides a little bit after September. They're learning the routes. Kids are being added. Kids are being moved. You have any other questions, guys?
That is understandable, but when you speak to them, they have so much adding.
Yes, they do. At the bus company. Yes. No, the bus company.
Sometimes the matron, they're just giving you.
Yeah.
So if you ever run into an issue with your bus company or your bus matron, please reach out to us because we will call them on your behalf and speak for you as well. Because that's the last thing that we want is for our families to become so frustrated because they're not getting answers or not getting to the bottom of anything. So that's kind of what Evan is here for.
What I do. Or the best case here, I'm not at this site every day, but if you're having an issue with the matron, Mr. Fama or someone else can go outside and be like, hey, what's going on? What's happening with this? And then we'll hear what they have to say, try and resolve. Yes.
If they create an account, they can make a complaint online, and that way they have everything by paper because you call, but nothing is there, and then they start everything from the beginning. Because I've been following this effect.
Yes, sir.
Is there a standard time that students should, or limited time, students should not be in the bus, like half an hour?
So if there is a medical accommodation on the IEP, which is a legal document, right? You have to have a medical accommodation. If it's a shortened route, then your child should be towards the end of the route, like they would be one of the last pickups and one of the first drop-offs. But it has to be a medical accommodation. It has to be approved by a DOE doctor.
My point is how long I should wait? Like 1 hour? That's okay.
That depends on the route. That depends on traffic.
One time the driver came in after 2 hours, 4 o'clock, and it's only 15 minutes. It's 3 miles.
Yeah, we've actually had buses get home at 6 p.m. this school year already. So
your child's bus might be shared with another school, and their dismissal just might have taken longer. So don't forget, if your child is sharing a bus with another District 75 school, and there's a holdup because for whatever reason, they still have to wait for that other school to be loaded on the bus to start that route. They generally won't pick up here, drop off, and go to the other school. So unfortunately, again, you can call OPT, put in a complaint, let Mr. Fama or myself know, and then we can reach out to OPT on your behalf with the complaint number, which helps that the parent did contact as well. Yes, sir.
So, because it's just going to go back and forth with blame, right? And that's like the point. What is your solution? What do you come up? Can you come up, or do we need to have a meeting so we can come up with solutions to try to fix the problem? Because we're going to call the company, they're going to blame you. We're going to speak to you, they're going to blame you. So forget the blame. Let's come up with a solution. Like my daughter, she's supposed to get picked up at 7:15. Thank God I work in the afternoon. Like today, I had to bring her to school. They called and said, hey, no driver. So you got a company with no driver.
The company called you? Did the matron called you, said I don't have a driver?
Let's say I'm sitting outside at 7:15. I don't get the call until 9 o'clock.
No, you're 100% right.
Till 9 o'clock. What time is she supposed to be in school? Now she's missing out on things that.
No, you're right.
So it's a whole bunch of.
You're not wrong. On the school's part, we would put in a violation. There's a website for violations, for excessive lateness, all that stuff, where that's supposed to be looked at the bus companies. I'm assuming the Department of Education would not contract with them again if they have constant things.
Keywords is supposed to.
Right, but I can't say that's.
It's like spinning. It's like
You're not wrong, but
Okay,
That's nothing we can do.
I don't want to cut you off, but I want to address that because the district, on a district level, CC, D75, and other organizations on a district level, they have meetings about this all the time, where you can be a voice in that. We don't have the solutions. We can't say, hey, bus driver, do this. We don't have that authority. But if you come to these meetings and go to these Zoom meetings and workshops and things, that they talk about it, and you can be a voice, and you can be active on your end, because our hands are tied. There's not much we can do. But on a district level, they're on it. Okay, and so I'll send stuff home. When I get notice about meetings, I send them home. And so there will be meetings, like I said, it's on a district level. It'd be CEC or CCD 75, those meeting notices that you get. Look at the notices and see what the meeting's about. A lot of them are about busing. And then you can be the voice. You can be the voice for all of our kids who don't have voices. I've gone to them as a parent because, like I said, I'm a D75 parent. And the parents are active, but the parents have to be a voice, you know. So that's the only solution we can offer. We can't in 224 fix it, but if we band together and go and be a voice for our kids, after a while they have to do something. My pleasure.
And like Mr. Seftel said, if you are having chronic issues with the bus, he can look into trying to get your route changed. That's our only solution that we actually can do as a school right now. But please, if you guys want to come with us to the CCD 75 meetings, we would be more than happy to have you there to be a voice for our students as well. So thank you to Shauna for bringing that up.
I have to take the parent training in D75 and IB, but I don't have the information where it is and what I have to work
This year.
So the parent trainings that I'm doing, the CUSAC workshops, those are the parent trainings. For 224. So most of you have parent training on your IEPs, and that's what the CUSAC workshops, the parent coordinators, like I said, we try to find out what parents need, and we do those trainings accordingly. And a lot of parents have talked about ABA, and we don't do ABA in the school, so we're offering this as an extra support for parents. So that's what the parent training is. It's not going to be a one-on-one thing, like we can't do that, but we have these and one is, they're on Wednesdays once a month. It's a parent lunchtime training.
My question is, when I was in the IP meeting, the coordination told me that I had to take parent training in D75. So my question is
That's what that is. Yeah, every school has their version of parent training, and this is our version. And if you want anything else, like I said, let us know, and we'll see if we can develop something. It's based on what you need. And if you need copies of that, let me know. I can make more copies.
All right, so Ms. Fudge was nice enough to put up all of our email addresses for you. Tashana is the top one who was just speaking with you. Evan was the male gentleman that was just speaking about busing. I'm the principal, so mine's Jay Allen too. John Michelangeli in the back over there is the assistant principal in this building. And TJ Fama, the unit coordinator, is also standing in the back for us now, ready to take us upstairs to see our kiddos. And also, Ms. Tashana has a few parents that they want to just speak to very quickly as we are exiting. So if you want to just stand at the door and call their names, perfect. And all of this will be on the website for you.